Hey guys, so welcome to another video in which I'm filming on my phone, and it's actually because I feel like a totally bad booktuber. I forgot to film my top books of 2013 before I left, so I'm actually leaving for the airport in like half an hour and I have 5 minutes, so we're doing this on my phone. And I was trying to, most people have been doing the top 13 of 2013 or the top 10 or whatever, and I couldn't come up with that many. I kind of tend to be a very hard to please reader. Most of my books I rate about 3 stars, so I didn't have like a ton of fantastic reads, but I did have 7 that I want to share with you. I'm not going in any particular order. I am going to be showing them, I guess, like more genre or category. We're gonna go category rather than ranking. So starting off with literary fiction, my first favorite of 2013 is Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri, and this is actually a collection of short stories, and every single one of them is absolutely fantastic. Her writing style is so fluid and it's very, very engaging, and I don't know, it made me really want to start reading more, I hesitate to call them ethnic, but more non-white colored authors, let's say, because I thought it was very, very cool to be reading about a different American experience. My second literary favorite was Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami, and I absolutely love this because of the writing style. This is technically a coming-of-age story about a boy who's just very lost and confused in the world after the death of one of his best friends, and it is shocking in its realism, and the writing, again, is actually very similar to Lahiri's writing, and I think that what I liked about it was that it's actually very, very similar to Kazuo Ishiguro's writing. If you've ever read Never Let Me Go or say The Remains of the Day, it's very, very similar to that kind of toned down but very descriptive, very emotive lyrical writing, and the only way I can really describe it is it sounds like a song or like an indie movie. That's what it feels like to read this book, and I absolutely, absolutely loved it. Moving on to classics, my first favorite of the year was Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is the latest of Jane Austen's works, and because of that it feels totally different than everything else that she's written. It is an older heroine, it's kind of a sadder, more toned down love story. If you have read this book and you get to the letter, just get to the letter. Read the book for the letter, and if you don't melt into a puddle in public like I did, I don't know what's wrong with you. That was like the most romantic thing I've ever read. Ever. My next classics favorite is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I absolutely love this. I just reread this last week, and I can't even express how much I love this universe that Tolkien has created. I've always considered myself a Tolkien fan because I've always really loved The Hobbit, but I've never been good about finishing The Lord of the Rings, so this Christmas I decided to get back into it and start rereading, and I'm currently in the middle of Two Towers, and I'm sure that one would have been a favorite of the year too if I had finished it before I filmed this video, but I absolutely love this world. I love every single one of the characters. I think that if you're a fan of the movies, there's so much more going on in the book than Peter Jackson was able to convey in the movies, and he does a fantastic job, don't get me wrong, but the universe is so vast and Tolkien spent so much time crafting every single nuance of it. It's absolutely amazing, and it's so hard to believe that this isn't a real place, and that might just be because this is where I would want to go if I wasn't on Earth. Like, if there was an alternate universe type thing, I would want this to be my alternate universe. So I'm just rambling, but I really, really love this, and I hesitate to say it's my favorite book of the year because I think I'm more in love with just the story in general, but yes, so good, so good. Finally, we've come to middle grade and YA books, and my first favorite is middle grade, and this is Ink Spell by Cornelia Funk. This is the second book in the Ink Spell trilogy, which I did review, so I will link that down below. This is by far the best in the entire trilogy. This feels so much like high fantasy, not middle grade at all. There's so much going on in this book. The characters, the children characters, have a major, major role, and they're very, very active, and I just love everything about this book. And my first YA favorite of the year is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Cinder was not my favorite character, and I enjoyed her book, but not as much as I thought I was going to, and this one totally blew my expectations out of the water. Wolf was fantastic. I loved his mysterious draw, but at the same time, Scarlet was really what attracted me to this book. She was kick-ass. She wasn't gonna lay down and let some boy do her work. I don't know, I just loved everything about it, and it really did shatter all of my expectations based on the first book. And my last YA favorite, I don't actually have a physical copy of, and I've already packed my Kindle, so sorry there's no visual, but that is The Brightest Kind of Darkness by P.T. Michelle, and this was a totally random book. It was one of those free Kindle books on Amazon when I was just scrolling through on a sick day looking for something fun to read, and I could not put it down. The Brightest Kind of Darkness is about a girl who can see the future in her dreams and the mysterious boy that she meets at school after stopping a bomb threat. Now, I don't read a lot of YA romance or a lot of paranormal romance at all. I don't tend to like it, and I know this is bad, but I haven't really read any since Twilight because it kind of ruined it for me. But this book, on the other hand, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because the female character was actually not like wimpy and damsel in distress and oh, why me? I really, really enjoyed it, and it made me want to read more. Possibly in the future, maybe. I don't want to bind myself to anything, but I will at least be continuing with this series, and I own all of them now on my Kindle, so books, I'm coming for you. That's what I will be reading next year. So those are all of my favorite books from 2013, and I would love to know what you guys loved this year, so let me know in the comments below, and I will be checking out videos because these are some of my favorite videos, I think, to watch. As I mentioned before, I am leaving, so by the time this goes up, I will probably already be in San Francisco, and the next video will be with my San Francisco background. Anyways, I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday season, a fantastic 2013, and I will see you next time. Bye! I should probably look at the book title before I do that. Books, and my first favorite is oh my god, words. So much more than oh, okay, I need to start this part. Cinder, I mean, oh, what am I talking about? Oh, life.